continue our series of St. Francis de Sales, Introduction to the Devout Life. We are now in chapter 17 of part 3, and he's going to begin looking at the virtue of friendship. He's going to spend 6 chapters on friendship, especially looking at the difference between false and true friendship, how to avoid false and grow in true friendship. So friendship is one of the kinds of love. C.S. Lewis actually has a wonderful book called The Four Loves, one of which is friendship-type love. St. Francis de Sales begins by saying that for love to be friendship, first it requires that it's mutual, that it's shared between these two persons, that they are both expressing love, desiring the good for each other. And then, of course, there must be some kind of communication between them so that each of them knows that they're in that relationship. Relationships require that kind of communication. He says, the more excellent the good things communicated, the more excellent will be the friendship. So, friendship should be based upon good things that you share between one another, and that will bring true friendship. But he says that friendship based upon the communication of false and vicious things is entirely false and evil. So if you think about it, a friendship, say, between two thieves, or a friendship of those who were to commit, acts of terrorism. He says those are not true friendships because they're not leading each other into goodness. It's not really an expression of love. He goes further to kind of give some examples of things that are not true friendships. He says relationships based primarily on physical pleasure that another person can give to us are not true friendships. In fact, they're not too much different from the natural inclinations of animals to engage with one another, because it's really based upon what can I get from the other rather than what am I giving to them. So this could be the area of sexuality, but it could be in the area, many other areas in which we use one another. Say someone is a friend because they like being around the other, or it's useful for they can get things from them. The person has a nice car that they want to be in, or the person has money, or like, say, children in school. I'm going to be friends with you because I know you're going to help me with my homework. But other than that, I'm not really interested in being your friend. Those are not much different from the friendships between animals. Contrast that to the friendship of marriage, in which the communication will include the physical pleasure, including that of renewing their wedding vows, but also they communicate life, work, different goods, affections, and the indissoluble fidelity that is essential to marriage. And so there's much more communicated, many more things that are good. He also says that relationships based upon certain frivolous virtues, he calls it, are not true friendships either. So he says sometimes we can look at certain characteristics of another that really, skills and qualities that look to be desirable, but actually are not worth all that much. So to quote him, he says, "Listen to most girls, women, and young men speak. They do not hesitate to say, 'Such a nobleman is very virtuous. He has many accomplishments, because he dances well, he plays all kinds of games well, he dresses well, he sings well, he cajoles well, he has a fine appearance.'" He says, those are not really virtuous type things, and so friendships are based only upon those external things. They're not really true and good friendships. He also says that the charlatans consider the greatest clowns among them as the most virtuous. So if we think vice is actually virtue, then that's not going to form a true and good friendship. He concludes by saying that friendships based upon these deserve the name of folly rather than a friendship. He says such friendships are only transient and melt like snow in the sun. So maybe we've experienced certain friendships like that melt away whenever difficulties come. Friends, or so we think, that abandon us when we're most in need, because a friendship really wasn't based upon a communication of things that are good and holy. So in the coming chapters, he will explain more of both false friendships as well as help us understand what true friendships are really all about. God bless.